Hello, I'm Danny. I am a beauty student. I'm graduating in about 2 weeks with a certification in hair and aesthetics. I'm going to take my state boards in about a month and a half. And so now that I've gone through beauty school, I started beauty school at 29 for context if you are an older student. But even if you're not, I think these would be really helpful. I loved watching these videos before I started beauty school and when I started, and I still like watching them, honestly, just because I like to compare and contrast, and I think it will be helpful for me to share a few things. The number one thing I wish I knew about beauty school is the amount of studying you're gonna do, because maybe I went into it blindly, but I really thought we were gonna play with dolls most of the time, and there is a lot of studying and a lot of testing, and it's not easy. It does feel like high school, like science. And like, I know, like, my first day of beauty school, they gave us our textbooks, did our little orientation, and was like, okay, we're getting tested on sanitation tomorrow, and you have to do this chapter. Like, I was not prepared. I did not have a backpack, and like, maybe that is ignorant of me to like think we weren't gonna do actual school stuff when this is a school, but I like to say that because I don't think through watching a lot of the videos that I've seen that was emphasized enough, like the amount of, they call it theory, the amount of theory, and you get your milady, my lady, most schools use milady books. Like, really study that, because it is going to help for state boards. Like, I'm going to be using a lot of my textbooks for state boards, so it is important, and it's not easy, especially the esthetician part of the program. Like, I think that is the hardest part of for me, and mind you, I am only getting my certifications in hair and aesthetics because I live in a state where I can get licensed individually. Some states you don't have a choice, you have to get a full cosmetology program. I live in Oregon and I do not have to, but aesthetics 1 was completely new to me, and I'm not saying this to scare anyone or anything, but it was really hard. Like, there is a lot of science, a lot of, like, never let anyone tell you that beauty school is easy, because it is not easy. It's worth it, and you gain a lot of knowledge, and it's super cool, but it is not easy. That theory is not a joke. As someone who already went through college, especially the aesthetics portion of my course specifically, and mind you, my school at the time had 4-week classes, so I learned a lot of the theory, not all of the theory, but a good chunk of the theory in class in 4 weeks, and it was like 3 tests a week on like layers of the skin and all this anatomy, and it was very difficult. And so I'm not going to like I'm not trying to scare anyone. Like, I really hope it doesn't come off that way, because it is worth it. It is necessary. And yeah, I think that is just something that when I was looking at these videos kind of got glossed over by a lot of people, but the theory is no joke. Make sure you pay attention, make sure you're taking notes, and watch videos. Oh, something that will really help with studying, that helped me personally, if you're kind of like someone who likes to listen, is watching YouTube. There's like a YouTuber, if you're in the hair program specifically, there is a YouTuber, his name is Vincent. If you look up like Vincent Milady hair chapter whatever, he goes over the entire hair book, and he is really like interesting. He tells really great stories, and he was super helpful. I'm even gonna listen to him when I'm studying for boards. And also they have a similar thing for aesthetics and likely nails or whatever other programs you're doing. I would just look up your textbook and see if there's any YouTubers that kind of go over lectures or like go over the book. Something else that I wish I knew before beauty school is the cost, because you have your cost, your like blank cost for the program itself, but there's another cost in what you're going to invest for yourself while you're in school. Like, for example, my program our kits, what came in our kits, we got pretty good like hot tools and decent shears. Like I'm gonna invest in better shears and clippers when I leave, but the hot tools was a good start. But like things like balayage boards, just random like cutting combs, like just random stuff that you might need, or you don't necessarily like what's in your kit. Like you might want something of better quality. Your kit itself, like our kit, like no one at my school uses the hair kit that they give us. They gave us like a duffel bag thing. It's really ugly and not very great for organization. So almost everyone buys those 3 to 5 tier rolly cases. That's a cost. Like there's a lot of little costs that add up while you're in school. And likely, honestly, I think this is just part of the field, because like when I go out and start working in a few months, like there's a few things I'm gonna need to invest in, but I don't need to invest in every single thing because I'm not gonna be going on my own at first. I plan on working at it, like getting more experience at like somewhere that's already established. So I'm not going to have to invest in everything, but I know over time I'm going to want to invest in more hot tools, more like there's a cost that is associated with it. So I want to also emphasize that. And maybe if like you're a big budgeter, like maybe budgeting, this might sound like a crazy amount, but like $500 or more. Or if you're a super great couponer or whatever, like maybe even less, but like I would budget extra to buy little things that you might need. Also, something else I wish I knew before beauty school is how much you're gonna glow up. You guys all already look great, but you're gonna get into things more, and that sounds vain, but you're gonna glow up a little bit because you're gonna learn different techniques and you're gonna get better at things, or you're just gonna be interested. Like for example, I started out in the nail program, like in full cosmetology with the nail program. I dropped the nail program because I can't even paint a nail, but despite me not being able to paint a nail, it didn't stop me from starting to have my nails done. And now I have my nails done on a consistent basis. And that was something that did not happen before school. I got way into skincare, which I wish I had gone into it sooner because I grew up with acne and like hormonal acne. And I think that being into my skincare could have really helped me for many years. But I learned a lot of proper skincare techniques and have a whole routine, and that has really cleared up my skin. I don't have perfect skin still, like you can see some hyperpigmentation and acne scarring around my face, but it has cleared up so much. I love like chemical peels and things that I probably would have been a little nervous to try prior to beauty school, because the aesthetics part of the program was truly 100% new to me. I didn't know anything. So like learning about facials and all of that, I got super into it, and it has really helped my own skin and like kind of been a passion to help other people. I also got into waxing. So I bought my own wax pot. This is another thing I'm talking about as far as the cost of beauty school, because you're going to also get into certain things that you weren't necessarily interested in or like really knew much about before, and doing it on yourself or on your friends or whatever, like getting a wax pot. Like I got into waxing. Nails, I got a little better at like doing my hair and my makeup, like just little things. Is gonna, like, it's great. It honestly is great, but just emphasizing, you're gonna end up spending some money. I also want to say, be open to being flexible in your goals. Is something I wish I knew before beauty school. Like for example, like part of what got me interested in aesthetics was the ability to do lashes, and I took a separate lash program up in Portland, and I actually hate lashes for the same reason I hate nails. I don't like the meticulousness of it. Some people are really good at being meticulous and great at that kind of stuff and some people aren't. Like, that's not for me, and being okay with that, and that doesn't make me bad. And I like these other things about aesthetics. I love doing facials, I love doing chemical peels and microderms and waxing. So just be open. And same too with like hair and stuff. Like, there's a lot of times a lot of people won't be interested in like learning certain things because they're like, well, I'm not going to do that outside of school. And you just never know. Like, I think if I could tell anything is like, just be open to learning whatever, because you'll never know when you might start using that skill, or when you might move to a place that has a clientele with that hair texture or whatever. Like, I think that it's important to learn all that you can. With that, I will say beauty school is not going to teach you everything. Like, I am graduating in 2.5 weeks, and though I feel like my skills have grown tremendously, it's foundational, and I am self-aware enough to know that I want more training after. And that's what I've heard from a lot of people, like on TikTok and YouTube, and like my teachers at school, is like, you learn the most once you graduate and get into the field. That's when you really learn a lot of skills, because beauty school is just teaching you the foundations to pass state board. So if you do have, like, for example, I really like learning black hairstyles. I want to learn locks and all these different things, and they don't really teach that at my school. Depending on what part of the country you live in, you might learn that. Like, I know a lot of beauty schools down south do teach black hair a lot more. However, I live in Oregon, so it's pretty not that diverse place, so we don't really learn a lot about black hair, and that's really unfortunate. But it's something that I'm already interested in and kind of learning on my own, and I plan to research like different like trainings that I can do once I graduate. Which, look into trainings, or look into when you graduate, if you're not planning to go straight out on your own or commission, like, look into salons that do have continuing education, because that's what I want to do, because like that is where like I want to learn and get better before. Like, the long-term goal obviously is, for most stylists, is to be on their own, but for me at this point in my life, I'm 30 and I just want something more stable. What else? I feel like there's so much. Be confident. Like, that sounds really kind of like stupid to say, because it's like, oh, you can't just be confident. Like, okay, like, you know what I mean? But be open and be confident, and learn how to take constructive criticism without like hearing, like, for example, like, if you're kind of struggling with something and you get feedback, don't take it as, I'm so bad at that, like, I'm bad, like, I think I just suck at haircutting or whatever. Take it as like, okay, I struggle with this and I'm growing. Like, I think that is such a mindset that will help you, like a mindset of growth, and like acknowledging where you have pitfalls and struggles and where you're really good will get you far, because that's one of the reasons why I think that at 29, 30, I'm able to be in this field more so than when I was like 19. Well, first off, when I was 19, I was like not into any of this, but my mindset when I was younger was very much insecure, and like, if someone was like, oh, you should do something like this, I would take it as like, oh my god, like, I'm bad at that, like, just really insecure. And I think that I see some people at my school with that mindset, and that is something that is going to be a struggle to get you very far. So work on your mindsets, keep a growth mindset, like, you're always learning. Even if you think you're really great at something, like, there's always something to learn, and that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, like, or like rude to yourself or anything. It's I try to view it as like a fun thing, because at the end of the day, it's all fun. Like, I love chatting with people. I love all of it. So yeah, anyways, I hope that you guys like this video. I hope it's helpful, and you guys are all gonna do great. Good luck.